The 2022 series Iceberg explained. Now, I'm not so sure where this came from, and I don't think it's possible, because the show's story has already ended with the Crime Life movie, but the creator of the show said that there will be a G.R.E.E.N spin-off series, and speaking of the G.R.E.E.N will be a show about the G.R.E.E.N gang, and how they became the most powerful gang. The show will be consisting of 2 or more seasons. I don't think this will happen in the future, but it is a good concept. Perhaps Simon and Alan will make a return in the G.R.E.E.N series. We'll just have to wait and see for ourselves. Espresso City is a city in the show that made its first appearance in Dave's story, and we last saw it in the Crime Life movie, but there was a clip from the G.R.E.E.N series, where Daniel meets Simon in the city. Maybe we will see more of the city when the show comes out. I don't know if this is canon or not, because Alan's last name is Henderson, and Dave's last name is Wilson. Alan is Australian, and Dave is American, and if he's Dave's father, why did Dave kill him at the end of Crime Life? Similar to the last one, how is this possible? If Alan is Australian and Simon is British, I guess we'll have to find out in the G.R.E.E.N series. This is not true because, first of all, the movie takes place 5 hours after the final episode of season 4, and second of all, it was confirmed that he died later on in the movie on the news. A Steve spin-off series, that sounds interesting, but I think he will also be making a return in the G.R.E.E.N series, probably in season 2. Robert's story is a bit complicated. In Dave's story he was speaking with an Italian accent, and in Steve's story he was speaking Portuguese. We'll probably find more about him in the G.R.E.E.N series. You know what? Scratch that out, we're not gonna talk about that. Now, this is just a theory I made up, because we only saw Robert a few times in the show and in the movie. The last time we originally saw him was in the betrayal episode in season 1. Steve's story doesn't count because it's set in the past. Like it says in the title. Crime Life Extended Edition will be an extended edition of the Crime Life movie, with a new opening scene, flashbacks, and a long ending. With a duration of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 55 seconds. Sunrise City is a city that made its first appearance in the 9th episode of season 4 titled Get the Money, where Dave steals money from the G.R.E.E.N gang, then appeared in Crime Life where Dave gets a phone call from Alan, then made its last appearance at the end, where Dave collapses. The G.R.E.E.N gang is a gang that made its first appearance in Daniel's story, and like I said earlier, they will be getting their own spin-off series. Congratulations for them. We only get little to no information on Dave's parents. In the scene before the ending of Crime Life, Dave mentioned that he was raised in New York, and his dad was a construction worker. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I made a theory that asks the question of Daniel and Dave being the same person. I mean, both of them were criminals, and they were once working for a dangerous criminal organization, and when Daniel was about to die, he told Dave to never trust anyone and never look back. This is just a theory. I put this on the iceberg because nobody knows what happened to Robert after crime life. There are 3 options here. 1. He got arrested. 2. He got killed by the cops due to suspicions of working with Dave. Or 3. He is on the run and probably changed his identity. The Republic of Blitzburg, or better known as Blitzburg, is a city or a country depending on your perspective. It was founded in 1998 by the G.R.E.E.N, and exactly 5 months after its foundation, a civil war broke out between the police forces and the G.R.E.E.N, and during the war, the G.R.E.E.N bought fighter jets and started bombing the whole place, including a small island, who would be called Faketown later on. The Abandoned City is a city that made its first appearance in episode 6 of season 2, but it wasn't called that until season 4. The year 1970 is the year that everybody decided to leave the city due to inflation, and to this day, nobody lives there. The only people who are in the city are tourists. I put this on the iceberg because I saw a scene in Crime Life where Dave finds Nathan dead, and he says that in 2007, Nathan told him that he owed the G.R.E.E.N boss money, and if he doesn't give him the money, there will be consequences. Maybe the second episode of the show will answer that question. It's because they're American, isn't it? You know what? Move to the next one. I don't have time for this. The reason for this is because Steve died in the final episode of season 2. Daniel, Simon and Alan died in the final episode of season 3. I mean, it could be canon, because in the very first opening scene of the first episode of season 4, words pop up saying that they got revived by a secret group. It was probably the G.R.E.E.N, or the Vultures. There has been videos made by the creator himself about the alternative endings, but that was before he had the idea of making a show about it, and besides, he first made a short film introducing the characters, then he got the idea of making the show. You seriously have to be crazy to believe that Crime Life is based on true events, or is it? Because I think that there are criminals on the run after doing illegal things. I was also saying the same thing at the time season 2 premiered. He got shot by a shotgun. I don't think this happens in real life, because if you get shot by a shotgun, you would be in tiny little pieces, but this is not real. Remember, this is fiction, or Daniel probably had plot armor. I'm not gonna explain this one. Next. This is another theory that I had in mind after watching Crime Life. What if it was all a dream, and Dave wakes up in prison in 2009, where he still meets Daniel, but they're on death row for all the horrible crimes they committed? If this is actually the real ending, I'm gonna keep making more theories on the 2022 series, until the show becomes irrelevant and falls off, like the rest of the things on the internet. Now, before you fanboys start hating on me in the comments, I want all of you to hear me out. I'm not hating on this guy, I simply do this for entertainment. I really liked the show and the movie. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go rewatch the show and the movie in chronological order once the G.R.E.E.N show is over. If you liked the video, consider subscribing to the channel. You don't have to. I'm not forcing you to do it. Thanks for watching. Expect to hear from this channel soon. Goodbye.